Um, Music to me is honestly my outlet for whatever I may be feeling. Um, like I am a graphic designer, and while art has always been my thing, it makes me more frustrated to like try and get my angst out through like art or whatever, because I'm a perfectionist, and I feel like with music I can just kind of play around until I get it right. And also singing is my main therapy. It just helps me relieve a lot of stress, and writing really helps also, because people don't really realize, but getting your thoughts down on paper does so much mentally, because it's almost like if you're like upset about something, it's coming to terms with it and accepting it. And my biggest thing is just keep moving forward no matter what happens. So being able to record things myself makes it so much easier, first of all because it's right in my room, but also if I had to go to a studio, if I say I had a really good idea, I would have to wait and schedule a time or do whatever. So it's very immediate to get my own thoughts out and just release it, because like I guess it kind of just builds up and I'm like, wow, I really have this idea, I need to get it out of my system and like see what happens. Because after a while, if you have an idea and you don't do anything about it, it kind of just fades away. And I like getting it all out while I can and just kind of produce the best stuff that I can. And honestly, it's not really, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun for me to do. And to have other people come up to me like, hey, I like your music, like I can relate to the song, that means a lot, because it's, I guess you put a part of yourself in the work that you create. And that's really, really important. And I don't know, if I can help people in any way with my music, that really is all I need. Yeah, having my own equipment, I mean, it's not much. I mean, I have this little friend here and like my keyboard and this. It definitely helps having it in my room, because if I don't record something, it'll leave my head and then I'll be like, oh no. As far as producing, I like having control of all the aspects, because then I don't have to work by other people's times and rules and the regulations and all that stuff. I don't even know what half of it really is. So as far as like getting on iTunes and Spotify, I literally just Googled how to get on iTunes and Spotify, and there's a few online distributors that are free, and you can like look them up. I use RootNote, and I think the thing I chose was like I make 85% of all royalties, and it's like 45 days after the first like payment or something like that. Like, of course I haven't received any money because, hey, but I like being in control of everything. And maybe if I were to like really, really get into this, because this is just a hobby, maybe it would be nice to have like an agent or like be signed to some sort of a label. But for right now, working small is the best for me.
Touring straight out of pocket, well, we didn't really have a lot of money when we did it. Our budget our food supply consisted of like Pop Tarts and like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and Chick-fil-A at one time. But other than that, paying straight out of pocket, it's pretty expensive. You don't really have much real, especially like kids like our age, like working at like at the time I was working at Mighty Taco, and other people were working at like Tim Hortons or something else. But it's really hard, especially we had help touring too. We didn't even bring that into consideration. We didn't have to rent a trailer, we didn't have to rent out of vans because we had people help us out. But that's just the local music scene, just like trying to help, being good people and just trying to help each other out at the time, which was very, like, that was very nice of them. But yeah, it was still pretty expensive for just gas money. you have to do things on the side or also get bored, like go places. So, yeah, it can be expensive even after like 2-3 days. People are kind enough to let us and other bands into their house to feed us and to like let us sleep on their couch, which was very, like I said, it was very nice of them. I'm still surprised, like, some of those people, like, we still have good connections with. I think it's more, people need to be more optimistic and open about things when it comes to recording-wise, because they don't realize that some of these recording artists are doing the same thing, if not worse, than you would be doing. Because you can go into a studio and they'll be like, that's $100 for a song. If you're if you're like a 5-piece band and you're paying for a 5-song EP, that's $100 a person. When you guys could be putting that $500 towards recording gear, and you can record it all yourself better than that jackass would.
What bands don't understand is, like, once you get signed to a record label, all you're really getting is basically someone to loan you money that you have to pay back. And I actually had a conversation with a friend of mine about a few months ago. He wanted to take his small band and go into a professional studio and spend all this money when he himself has gone to school for audio engineering and whatnot. And my argument was that there's no way you should spend the money to go and get professional recordings if you don't have a record label backing you, because no one cares about the sound quality unless you yourself are an audio major like he was. In my opinion, if you have the means to do it yourself, which he did, just record yourself. And there's so many ways to do it now. People are recording at home all the time, and that's why you have so many people recording their own music, or going out, and so many bands are coming up. So many bands are able to put their music online for free for these donations, however they want to put it out there. There's really no need to go to a professional studio until you get signed. And yeah, I guess that's where I was going with that.
I think recording yourself is more beneficial to independent artists, because a lot of people aren't going to care if you went to a big old studio and spent $50 an hour to punch out your single, because you're not going to get that money back, that $50 an hour that adds up to maybe $300 for, a good studio session, and then you got to mix it and you got to master it. I think in the long run, if you're an independent artist and you're looking to get your stuff out there, get an interface for like $100 and a couple of cheap mics and do it yourself.